So this is the part of the video where if you're someone who's looking to do track days and you have no idea what to do, what to bring, this is the part of the video you want to watch. The start doesn't really matter. Things I would recommend for track days. Well, for me, at a level that I'm at, may be a lot different from someone who's starting off. My biggest thing for newcomers is tires, right? It is literally the only thing that contacts you to the pavement, to the tarmac. That's your grip. Forget the rest. If this is shit, the rest of this is shit. So I would say understand what tires you have, look at how much grip you've got on them, and do a bit of research, because people come into track days not knowing shit and not knowing what's keeping you to the tarmac at highest speeds that you've probably ever done. And this is going to be a shock for you. But you're street fast. You may think you're fast on the street. That is going to be almost track slow. And that was a reality check for me when I started. I thought I was quick and skilled. The second I went to track, I was in the bottom group. Now I'm obviously sitting a lot higher in the groups, but it's a reality check. But back on target, tires. Understanding what tires you have, what they're actually made for. If you have a full-on road tire, and I mean like a Road 6, Road 6 is one of the most commonly crashed tire, because, you know, you bring them on a hot day, they don't like being hot. They almost don't exist with grip when they're hot. But step one, understand your tire, understand its operating temperature, and correlate that with the temperature of the day. If it's a hot day, do the research of how to keep that tire cooler, whether that be increasing pressure or decreasing pressure. Decreasing pressure obviously makes the tire grip more, which generates more heat. Higher pressure will mean slightly less grip, but it's not going to overheat too much. If it's a colder day, adjust to that. People say, do I need tire warmers? Now, this is another thing. Tire warmers are so subject to the tire. If you're running a road tire, your tire is going to warm up probably to temperature within the first 2 laps. You probably won't need tire warmers. I run SC1s from Pirelli. They need tire warmers. They have a very shallow window of operating temperature, and they need to sit on the warmer for about 45 to an hour just to get before I can even go out. Again, it's depending on the day and the weather and the track condition. So if you're on more of a track street tire, like a Corsa 4, yeah, get tire warmers. Why not? Don't bump them to the highest heat setting, because the Corsa's not made for that. Just have them on warmer, so you've got heat when you go out there. Nothing wrong with that. So I would say there's no harm in having tire warmers. Second thing, a chair. Not that one. Probably something more that. Foldable, small, you can pack away. You're going to be sitting for a while. Okay, depending how each track you go to operates, you're going to be sitting for a hot minute. Okay, get a chair. Power. Each track should supply you with some sort of a power point dedicated to your garage. Bring a long lead, because you never know where you're going to set up, and bring a power dock. Things you can put all your power points in. That be your chargers, tire warmers, just to charge your accessories. Bring a power point. You know, I've got 2 sets of tire warmers. Because I rely on them for these to operate, I bring a spare. If you are in the tire warmer section, just get 2. Because if this one busts, and not just the set, if one busts, it means your front is not going to have any heat. And you may as well not go out. Or you're going to be trotting for a few laps to even get this thing to temperature. So I've always ran a spare set. Stands. Stands are cool. I have, again, spares because I rely on tire warmers. For tire warmers to work, the bike needs to be lifted off the ground. So if a stand breaks, I need to have a spare for the tire, for the bike, so I can raise it and put the warmers on. The advantage to stands is obviously inspections. You can free spin the wheel. You can have a look at your chain. If the wheel needs to come off, you've got that opportunity to do that. Also too, if fluids need to be changed or checked, stands provide you a bike that can be level and elevated, which is a good measurement for all round. So Stands are good if you're in the realm of tire warmers and sweat. But if you're a newcomer, I honestly just wouldn't worry about it just yet. Do the track day, see if you enjoy it. Second thing, fuel. You're gonna need to bring fuel. Right, now, I've just even bought this today. I've gone 20 litres because 10 just doesn't cut it anymore. Most tracks will have their own fuel there, some won't. That's for you to research and find out. If you're riding a bike out there, you're kind of limited, but just look for like a local service station. There's no issue with doing your day riding out, getting topped up and coming back. But if you're trailering out or putting in a van or any sort of transportation, just bite the bullet. Don't get the 10 litre, just get the 20. You're gonna use it. You're gonna use it. Tools. Now, you don't need this. This is me. I work on these things all the freaking time. I needed a good tool set. I just bring it with me, but I have access to, you've got access to spares and all the rest, so you don't really need to go this wild. Most of you who do have kits like this, you'll know that it only grows to the point where you start understanding things that go wrong. So I had O-rings that failed, so first thing I went out and bought was an O-ring kit, because it was a hassle. It's a very unique thing. People aren't just going to keep that there. Spare nuts and bolts, electrical, crimpers and all the rest, Loctites, hoses, all that shit. It's just handy, but these, this is for more of an advanced, and you're very invested in it. Don't worry about that yet, but I would say look at your bike and go, okay, what are things that I could take off? If you need to change rear sets, if you need to take the seat off, Allen keys, look at what you've got. That's a bit loose. Lucky I checked that. Bring basics. Put it in a backpack. If you're going to ride it out, put it in a backpack. Just have some access to tools. This thing. You do not go to the track without one. And I don't mean Alibaba or eBay special $10. Buy yourself a good tire gauge. Okay? Understanding your pressures is more important than anything. Overinflating a tire, losing grip, crashing. If you value your investment, you need one of these. Do your research on your tire. Do your research on PSIs, recommendations. And if you don't know, go to the tire shop at the track and talk to the crew there. They will advise you to what you should be aiming for. Get a good one of these, right? To follow that up, air pump, right? This is a very basic one. PSI, you can set your PSI. It's not accurate, right? So I always go 2 PSI above what I want, and then I use this because it's accurate. But you want something to put air in the tire, right? You might be blessed where your garage has one, but very unlikely, okay? These have come a long way. This is tiny. This is no bigger than my hand, right? You don't need to go buy the big compressors anymore. You just can buy these, I know I said not Alibaba, but I got this one off Amazon, and it's just air. This is just air. Doesn't matter. If you can buy something that can give your tire air, sweet. This is when you need to spend the money, because this is telling you what and accurately how much air is in there, right? They're essential. If you're really into it, you can get a thermo laser. This just tells you the tire temperatures. Obviously, I'm very invested in this hobby, so I use this to figure out the track temperature. And then when I come back into the pits, we put the laser on the tires straight away and correlate that with the PSI of the tire. And I write them down. And so if I come back another time with a different condition track, I know I can go off references I've used before. Now, obviously, this track is going to be a new experience for you, and you're going to want to record it. It's fun. Something I advise everyone does is check the requirements of your track, your local track. Most tracks are, in Australia, in New South Wales, Eastern Creek, and probably most of the others, they don't allow external mounted cameras on helmets. which is fair. So all our stuff is like the Osmos and the Insta360 Mini Go 3Ss, they're inside our helmets. They allow that. Mounting to the bike. Now I have a point here, which looks at my dash, and I have a point under here. Most tracks don't mind where it is if it's on the bike, but it needs to be tethered to something solid. Now when I say tethered, when the camera goes on, you need to prove to them that this, if this fails, that this is going to catch the camera and stop it falling onto the track. A camera hitting a tire at high speed can kill someone. Okay? Or seriously injure them. And it's just an unneeded hazard. So if you're looking to do the camera route, find a good 3M taped one, put it to a good spot, and where you put it, make sure you can lock wire it to somewhere safe. Don't lock wire it to like something where it goes across here and it's going to interfere with your turning or your hand might hit it, and just be smart about it, okay? If you've decided to ride motorbikes, you should probably invest a bit of your time in learning how they functionally work. Going to the track with a loose chain, they won't let you on. Make sure your chain's nice and within reason of tension. Check your coolant levels. Check your oil. Have a look at all these components, right? Make sure your throttle's not loose. Make sure your brakes aren't fucked. Just do a general check, okay? Because it's happened to people, and I've witnessed it in front, that people go all the effort, they get super excited, they come out, and there's a requirement that they've failed for scrutineering. If you're in Australia and you are watching this, exhausts, I don't know if you know the TOS exhaust. They come out. Any exhaust with a sharp tip, they're not going to let you on. You're better off just taking the fucker off and having the straight pipe. I remember a poor girl was in line. She was told me it was her first day, and she got to scrutineering, and the guy had to fail her because the TOS exhaust was a sharp tip. You cannot have anything that's a sharp tip. Because if you come off and that digs into your leg or goes into another rider, or it's just common sense, right? There's obviously the requirements of safety. You're going to need ankle-high boots, full leathers that zip up. If you have a two-piece, just obviously needs to be able to zip around. Passable helmet and leather gloves. I've seen some tracks allow like basic road gloves that could be of this quality. Guys, buy the gear. If you can afford a track day, you can afford good gloves. Don't fuck around with them. But yeah, like first track day stuff, that's probably all you need to worry about. Just stay hydrated, obviously, and stay focused. You're going to be mentally fucking exhausted if it's your first time. Even for us who still go years round, the mental fatigue at the end of a track day is a lot. Anyone who knows, the concentration you need on these has got to be minimum 100%. Another thing too, this goes back to the street fast, track slow. Don't be disheartened if you've booked what they call medium pace, which for us is yellow group. Don't be disheartened if you move down. There's nothing wrong with that. Track is a completely different world to street. And the more you do it, the quicker you're going to get. It's something I learned. I was the same. I started in white, which is our slowest. I moved to yellow, moved to green, and then there are points now where red is being handed to my wrist, which is obviously the fast race side of track group. And for your first time, just go out, learn the track, see how it feels, and push minimal by minimal. Don't go, okay, this is alright, and jump all the way out here. That's where mistakes are. You don't know the limits of your bike. Quick tip. And this is a fucking great tip. I wish someone told me this earlier. Where you can see you're progressing with your suspension, with your braking, put a cable tie around your fork, because you set it up here and you go around for a session, you come back. If you come back and it's down here, this is how much of the fork you're using in your brake. You're nearly at the bottom of that. This is where you can go, I'm actually riding this to a good capability in terms of my braking. That's where you can start stiffening, adding a bit more preload, and you'll notice that this, might go around again, then it sits up here. Okay? Well, that's a better amount of wiggle room for you to progress. Because if you're progressing, this is always just going to slightly come down. Obviously, I'm at a point where I'm happy with mine, but I'm saying put a simple cable tie. Don't do it too tight. Just give it enough to move up and down. This will tell you how your front and your braking progression is going. Right? Because you come back, this could be flat. That's almost dangerous. That's literally almost dangerous. And then you can go to the suspension guys at your track or the tyre guys or someone, and they can tweak this up a little bit. They can add a bit of preload and do all the rest. That's a great little thing you can do. And you can do that on the street as well. That's not just track related, you can do that on the street. And that will give you, a cable tie can give you so much information about what's going on in the front. So do that anyway. But do your track day. That's what I recommend taking, depending on if you're transporting it out, if you've got a dedicated track bike or even a road bike. Understand your tires, understand your bike, take it at a good pace, and don't be disheartened if you're not where you think you are. You will 100% get there with consistency and spending a fuck ton of money. If there's anything you would recommend or that I've missed, drop it. Drop it down below. You let me know. Until then, I'll see you on the grid.